So, the competition, we were on Channel 4 at the same time doing the Comic Strip Presents. So just our schedules were really crowded. And I was also working as a drama actor in Shine on Harvey Moon. And so I was like, in the days, I was recording, then in the evenings I'd be at a gig in Birmingham, then the days I'd be recording. So it's stressful just because the workload was really a lot.
And what you were doing as Neil with the Young Ones, it was something that comedy had never really seen anything like that before, had it?
That's right, I suppose not. It was by accident. We wanted to make it look as if the wrong people had been given a TV series. And it kind of worked.
That's very brave, though. How were you so fearless, so young?
I don't know. I mean, I've learned since then. You know, I'm no longer young. I've got a memoir out at the moment, and it's called Young Once. And as you can, for obvious reasons, you can see why. Yes, I don't know. We just, it's a group as well. It's a gang. That was what was the thing. It was like Peter Richardson from the comic strip, Rick Mayall, Ade Edmondson, me, and Alexis Sell. It's a bit like a family. You don't get to choose your siblings, your family, and you can complain about them and they do terrible things and you'll fight. But they're like the gang. They're your family. So if anybody else criticises them, you defend it fiercely. And I don't know. It's like extra brothers I've got. Aww. I've got two brothers,
Aww. But
they're like my extra brothers. So, and that gives you courage if you've got the whole lot of them.
I guess writing the memoir, you then sit down and reflect on that family, but also you reflect on your relationship with your wife as well. It's a love story as well.
It is. My memoir's a rom-com.
A rom-com.
Because I realised my life is a bit of a rom-com because my relationship with my wife has been on for 10 years. She's a bit older than me, so I helped bring up her rebellious adolescent children. And I was a bit young to do that. I was like 25, bringing up teenagers. And I became a grandfather at just 29 or 30. It's a bit ridiculous, really. Anyway, then we separated, and I had 2 marriages, 2 divorces, 2 sons, 2 sets of solicitors, 2 houses, 2 cars, all gone. I kept the sons, obviously, I've hung on to them. But, and then we got back together again 25 years ago, me and Roberta, my wife, and we've been married now for 13 years. And I've made that, the book is sort of the story of our on relationship. And she was there through all those comedy years. That's the other thing, is that she was right through the early 80s. She was with me and she knew all the guys. She's sort of part of the whole group of us. And so I was wanting to write about that as well, because I'm a real diary and note keeper. And so I've written down a lot of the dialogue that's in the book is actually what people actually said. So I'm afraid everybody... I've got you. But
contemporaneous note-taking.
So at the time, when you were working 4 jobs on 2 different channels, you were also keeping a diary?
Yeah, and notes and writing pieces about it. And, yeah, if there are really odd and funny things that happen to you, I go to writing, always. I've written quite a lot of books, and I always try and write it down and make it into a funny piece. Yeah.
I can totally understand why you'd want to share the stuff about the comedy in the 80s and the Young Ones. It's a big decision to open up your personal life as well, isn't it? How did you sort of come to that conclusion, both of you and Roberta?
Well, yeah, that was a difficult one, especially for someone like me, whose main thing is pretend. What I like calling pretend is I always hid in characters. I never came out. I wasn't a stand-up comedian. I was always in character, always with a wig or a disguise. I played Peter Mandelson, actually, in a comic strip film. Yeah, I played Rupert Murdoch. I've played all the dodgy people. I was going to play Dominic Cummings, but that film never got made. But, yeah.
But now you're playing yourself. Is that what it feels like, in a way?
It was about 10 years ago when I started toying with the idea, I'm going to write a memoir. I'm going to finally sort of come out, really. And because I always thought if you write a memoir, it's like a full stop. that's the end. But in fact, it's proved to be different from that. It's more like opening it up. And I now go out, I do poetry gigs, I write poetry and got some poetry books out. And it's finally being myself. And it's not what I'm used to, so it keeps it young, I suppose, because this is all new for me.
Nigel, I have to mention this to you. I don't know if you know, but John is a big Young Once fan, and he recently won Celebrity Mastermind, and his specialist subject was the Young Ones.
The Young Ones.
And I'd like to know whether you know as much about the Young Ones as I do.
I won't know a thing, because it's 45 years ago, and people come up to me in the street and say things like, "It was John." And I've no idea what they're talking about.
Well, it was talking to Ade Edmondson, right where you're sitting, about this time last year that made me think, actually, maybe that's what I'll choose. So I'm going to ask you some questions, OK?
Okay.
These are the ones I was
No pressure. It's fine.
Have we got the theme tune?
I got
we
them
have.
right.
We have.
What two-word phrase was written on the back of the sleeveless jacket that Vivian wore throughout the show's run?
Not a clue.
Oh, 3.
Sorry.
Very metal.
Very metal, of course, yeah.
You probably saw it hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah, absolutely.
OK.
I probably wrote it.
And I've got one more. When the housemates appear on University Challenge, we saw a little clip there.
Yeah.
What's the double-barrel surname of the contestant who's played by Emma Thompson?
Not a clue. Sorry about this.
Money Sterling.
Money Sterling, great, yes, and I remember that now.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
brilliant.
there we
Sorry,
go.
I did very badly, didn't I?
Well, you did very well when you did the Young Ones.
I also won Mastermind myself.
OK.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, and my special subject was the life of Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, no.
my specialist question for you is...
Go on.
Where is the French house? Where all Robert Louis Stevenson's furniture, his childhood furniture, ended up, and his coat and his
Didn't he
boots.
go to the Pacific, the South Pacific? I don't know.
Go on.
Well, what you have to say is not a clue.
Not a clue.
Clue, yeah. Very metal? No.
Yeah, go on.
It's in Monterey, California.
Of course it is.
Yeah, you see.
1-1.
Cheers.
Lovely to see you.
Nigel,
Thank you
it's
very
so
much
gorgeous
indeed
to
for
see
coming
you.
in.
And Nigel's memoir is called Young Once, A Life